right. Actually, let me stream my screen. Boop. This one. Nice. And then I say, yo, what up? How's it going, buddy?
How's it going for you, Tam?
It's going well. It's going really, really well. I'm having a good day today. I didn't sleep too terribly long like I did yesterday. Yo, I slept so long yesterday. It's crazy. Crazy. I went to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up at 4 in the afternoon. So long. But anyway, we are not here to talk about my terrible sleep schedule. We're here to talk about this super sick Momo Momo deck.
Yaoyorozu.
That's what I said. So let's chat about it. Hit me with the elevator pitch for your super cool Momo deck.
This one's not got much of an elevator pitch. It's more of a thought experiment of what does Momo in set 2 look like without Staff Strike? And then does she really need to play all weapons?
Ooh. Yeah, I dig that. I think that. So I've got a local. Big shout outs to Travis, who was playing a good Momo list, a good symboled Momo list with the good symboled punch package stuff, and was just like, oh, look, this hardened jab. I can give anything that I want +2 speed. I can give all of your moves -2 speed. I'm really efficient at building. I've got a lot of utility going on, and I thought the deck was really, really neat. And it was fine. And then whenever Momo couldn't get there, he just sideboarded into Kirishima and just won the game. so there was just like a lot going on. But I like the idea of no Staff Strike Momo, and I think you're right. I don't think that she needs to play all weapons. I think that if you just have weapon foundations / weapon cards and some weapon attacks for your once per turn, I think that you can get there.
That's basically what this is.
Yeah. So create capture net, bow Staff Strike, tongue whip is great. Fight reversal, magnetic stomp. Knife Slice, wonderful. Absolutely fantastic, man. This card's nuts, huh? And then Creeping Vine Eruption. I guess attack-wise, the big outlier here is Bow Staff, right?
Yeah, just a one-off to kind of grab something that you might want to pick up and put out.
I guess, like Rising Starlet or Preparing for Battle. I guess you could like pick out a quick create, right? You just like jam it in. It's just like a I want to change this committed foundation into this whatever foundation. This card feels kind of iffy though. It's like it's a
definitely
6 mid for 4 with a bad block. Let's go take a little peek and see what do your block zones look like. Do we need the low block? Is that what we're playing it for?
Nope.
1 low, 2 low. No, we got lows at the wazoo.
The block zones were surprisingly balanced.
Yeah. We should play this as instead of the Bow Staff, we should play it as a 1 of Net Gun Surprise. I think that card's way, way cooler than Bow Staff. It is a beautiful stun 2 that'll pretty much always steal a momentum, right? 'Cause especially if we sell out to the stats on it. Like a 5 mid for 3 stun 2. Nobody ever wants to block that card. Yeah. And it's a weapon, so in a panic, we just like pick this up with Momo and then jam it, block with our 2 mid block, and then they can't play another move because I'll reduce its speed to 1, destroy a foundation, put it to -1. What are they gonna do? You block. You just block whatever you want, or you have Net Gun Surprise in your hand and then you block and then you haven't used Momo. And then you auto block the next move because you just enhance, remove, and then go find the thing that you want, and the block with that. I think that's probably a better panic button, and it shocked me. It's just a little better on offense, I think, than the create Bow Staff, which is just like very whatever to me. You know, I'm gonna toss in the sideboard, and we'll see what we got going on.
I didn't think too hard about how restricted Bow Staff is in its usefulness because it can only dredge up weapon stuff anyway.
Right.
So
yeah, if it could
really care about having
anything,
Starlet out.
even if it can stag anything, why do we just don't care?
I think if it snags anything, it becomes a passing the torch or a rescue completed or an excited for blood, and that's valuable.
Right. Yeah, because then you just like create capture and that card down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me keep looking. Let me keep jamming. It could also be like something like a setup strike in order to make like a tongue whip or a nice slice even faster. Because this card is +5 speed in our deck.
Well, if you look at it again, it should remind you of my last deck.
Oh,
It's an all lows except for bow staff.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I think we definitely jam the net gun surprise, because I think it's just gonna be a better non-low than the create. So we're gonna dump this one, and then we'll refresh. We're gonna put hello. We're gonna put this in at the one of asset wise. Trashik is fine. Quick create box is great. Why box at the 3 and not quick create at the 3?
I think box is a better asset than quick create in pretty much every dimension.
Okay. You think the 1/1
It
is
cycles the card and gives you 1/1 on some attacks.
Okay.
It's a 1 diff. It's not a 2 diff. It doesn't shove stuff in your card pool to do its effect.
Right. Yeah. This card is good defense though, like accidentally.
Yes.
And it lets you recur things with Momo herself.
It does sometimes, but you have to be able to have that card on top of your discard to do that.
Right. Discard a weapon. It is. Man, this card sucks. It is kind of cool for quick create though. Floating around my babies.
That's more in there for overhead reversal, actually.
Yeah. Okay. I dig it.
Because you just get to build in the 0 diff and it's a weapon foundation still.
Interesting. So I think we're done with the text. I think your tech lineup actually looks fantastic. I'm not sure that we can do much else because of the idea of all lows. We could maybe, if our creeping vine is not quite getting us there, we could just change it into overhead reversals so our strings are a little tighter. Just lower your difficulty curve just a little bit. But besides that, I don't think there's much we can do about it. What I want you to test is, as you're doing stuff, if you're going to deadlock versus your opponent a lot, I would maybe put another quick creation in the sideboard, because the first deadlock and then just like doubling this to 10-10 is borderline not fair. And so,
yeah, like I agree. The side's not done. So it's just a main deck.
For sure. That is the only thing that I could see. And maybe if you like feel like you're losing too many foundations, maybe quick creation is the thing, because we can like pop things back in with Momo. And so like maybe we like cut an attack or cut a foundation and then pop in at like 3-3-1. Maybe we can cut the Tracy Cape if it's not coming in to be usefulness. Foundation wise, let's see what we got. And you value floating around my babies more than something like Battle Resolve?
No, not really.
Okay.
But in this case, yes.
Okay.
Just because it has the weapon tag and want to be able to have more opportunities to build stuff down, so you're not always losing one for the 2 speed.
That is fair. So my thought process on the difference between floating and Battle Resolve is just like using all the meat on the bone, right? So if we don't respond with the Battle Resolve, right, and it's a 0-5-3 mid, and we do happen to have 2 copies, we do get to commit them both for the +3 speed, and then we have 2 beautifully committed foundations to destroy and then remove off of Momo's abilities, right? We've got 2 prime targets to go and do the thing that we want to do, which is like the only thing that I could maybe see. But with floating being a weapon and being able to build those out of the pool, I think it might just be good enough.
I think having synergy with the character is enough for me to want to play floating over Battle Resolve, because Battle Resolve you have to find that other copy or it's kind of just a 0 diff.
Fair. Fair. 2x excited for blood. One rescue complete. Let's look at our difficulties real fast. We're only playing 3 here. How would you feel about going up for an excited for blood? Because we're losing our big draw power with Staff Strike being gone. I know we have box full of babies for a cycle, but like as opposed to like raw draw. How do you feel about like a third excited?
I had 3 originally, but it got cut down to 2 in the first pass because I was at 85 cards, cut it down to 60.
Love that. Love that.
I also had a second rescue completed for the added value you were just talking about, where you commit something, then you flip it, and then you destroy it, and it gets triple value.
Ooh. Okay.
But
with like tight lips or something?
yeah, tight-lipped and just character and rescue completed. Or you have something like wall cling on defense, where you wall cling and then you commit the wall cling for -2, and then you blow it up to bring something else in and -2 speed.
What momentum mouse do we have in our deck? Is it just Stomp being itself? Stun 2.
Didn't look too hard at that.
We have none. Literally none.
Yeah.
I think the
that was
issue...
part of the problem.
It might just be the attack lineup that we've pigeonholed ourselves to, of being all lows. They just don't have the dumps, right? To the point where, like, maybe what we do is... And I know you said you don't want this. Maybe we take out the Net Gun Surprise for a singleton Staff Strike. Just one, right? So as opposed to it being the main strategy of the deck, it's just a technique in the deck, and if we find it, we find it. Right, and it just
I think I would prefer to find something else with powerful on it. Pretty much anything else.
Okay.
Because a naked Staff Strike, if you just don't have the weapon to start the combo, is bad.
That is fair. We'll go back to attacks real fast, and we'll look at keywords. Backheel Haymaker, we found it. The card's nuts. We're looking. Home Run Comet is hilarious, but very high.
I think as a single high attack in the deck, unless they just don't see it before that, it's not going to catch anybody off guard.
I don't disagree with you. It could be Naval Laser Beam instead. Like, literally do the exact same thing we're kind of doing with Net Gun Surprise. It's not a weapon, though, so we can't pick it up. Feels less good. Okay, don't take momentum. I think that's what we've decided. Just don't do that.
The only thing would be, like, if you wanted to, like, go in on the go beyond strategy.
True.
Cut down some attacks and put in some go beyonds.
What do we cut down, though? I mean, we cut down like 4s to 3s, right? Because let's just make up our other counts. But then it's less of an option for us to pick up with our character in a panic. Because like if we haven't checked the capture net, then there's a likelihood of us finding it. Because we can pick up this as a high. We can pick up this as a mid. We can pick up this as a mid. Attack wise.
I think, unfortunately, on the life symbol, even if I wasn't running all lows, you'd still have a problem finding a good out for momentum.
Yeah. Sans Staff Strike itself, of course.
I don't think that's even a good out for momentum at this point.
I mean, I think Staff Strike is a bad card. It is an okay card in set 1. I think it's a bad card in set 2.
Absolutely, it is.
One day it'll be good. Man, could you imagine if Staff Strike had a punishing Tokoyami card like Bakugo 2 has? The flip clear thing. Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're talking.
It does have that, because you just do that before they combo and you lose your combo.
Ooh. Perfect. How cool. How cool. Wow, that card's
Uh,
actually crazy.
Other considerations would be things like Back Alley Haymaker, because that card's just nuts.
Yeah. That card is yoked, but a singleton back alley haymaker I think is not going to get you nearly as much
Oh no,
utility
I don't
as a
mean
net gun.
singleton. I mean overthrowing the entire structure of what's there, like taking out
Mm,
over electromagnetic stomp and net gun surprise and putting in 4 Back Alley Haymakers, and then maybe going heavier into the throw route rather
okay.
than like tongue whip.
I
I
mean,
think
that
tongue
is.
whip and knife slice are the best attacks in the deck, though.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. Tongue whip, nice slice, are crazy, right? Like a 7 low for 5 that burns them for 1 and then gains 1 that possibly built us a card in, right? With Momo, that's very very good. You just go pick them up, pick them up. Why is this
But
card a
then
5 low for 5 with
I
a
don't
one?
know.
Oh my goodness, it's
The other
like
thing about Back Alley Haymaker is it has EX, so even
right.
at like a 2 of, it can be a momentum out.
What would we cut for it? I mean, it feels like to keep our blocks where they are, like maybe like one creepy, one overhead, and our
I'd probably do
blocks
just 2 creeping vines for it.
just take them out.
If I were looking at it, yeah.
We'll put them in the sideboard so that you remember whenever we're done, right?
Yeah.
And be like, yo, maybe this is the thing we're looking at. And then as we continue, passing is a 3 of. Self-sacrifice is a preparing Scarlet. I put start with the basics inside of your sideboard. Is there? Oh, I gotta do this one. Is there a chance that we can squeeze this card in? Is it worth it at all? It's on Capture Net. It's on Knife Slice. It's on Net Gun Surprise. Probably not, right? 2/5/2 mid.
I just don't really like start with the basics, and with the theme of the deck being off weapons, I don't think it gets enough value.
Yeah, I concur. Yeah, I agree. I think it's like I know a lot of my Momo's success has been pretty much off of the back of this card. I think it's like one of the only ways that she gets to kill people.
Yeah.
But we're running a different approach. Keeping our eyes and our mind open.
I'd like to run more self-sacrifices and bonds of friendship because they're just high efficiency cards, but I don't
Right.
know what to cut for them.
I
I think
mean,
there's a lot of good tech cards that came in set 2,
I think you only need one
along with
zoom.
some in set 2. Set 1.
I think you only need one zoom. Like this is such a niche card, and the deadlock is like not even insane. Like it's good, but it's not insane. This easily could be cut for a third self-sacrifice.
Oh yeah, I could.
Easily. It's just
You could cut both of them, one for bonds, one's for self-sacrifice.
I think I think because this is like we're not even a first weekend or whatever. I think that seeing if Zoom is even like an acceptable card of like when my combat phase begins, if I've got a 5 on top, I can just jam the knife slice. If not, if I've got a 3, I do the Rising Starlet and then the knife slice to like
Mm-hmm.
make this a little bit cleaner, especially because she gets to rebuild stuff back in. I think that that's
Mm-hmm.
actually like a really, really, really tight tactic with her. To the point where like this character might be the best person to use this because she gets to clear that bad check and actually do something with that card as opposed to just break or wanting herself for the turn.
Definitely.
I could maybe, and this is gonna be a hard sell. You could maybe toss a release out because the -2 speed on your face is essentially release, and we're not running plus ultra to make release like goaded, you know. So we're
Yeah, I'm
trading
not
a.
against cutting release.
I mean, honestly, we could just put it down to a 1 of and put bonds up to the 3 of. It'll still exist in the deck. And so, like, when you find it, you're like, oh, wow, look at that. Oh, man, a release. How neat. But we didn't really lose a spam. Like, this feels fine, and it keeps our number where we had it, right? We're still at 60. 19
Part of the
attacks,
reason it was
60.
originally in the deck was because I was going to put 4 overhead reversals, but then I just found a bunch of different attacks that I wanted to play too.
Right. Yeah, that is fair. And maybe if like you feel like your creeping is not quite getting enough value, and you put back in the overhead reversals, maybe you toss this back in at the 2 of instead.
I think it could very easily be a like 4 of Overhead Reversal in main deck, 4 of Creeping Vine Eruption in side deck for longer matches.
Right. You go pick up your shields.
Yeah.
What do your block zones look like now? How are we looking? 19, 17, 24. I mean, these are acceptable numbers to me. These look fine to me. Evade and copy a one of just because like good mid thing.
It's a 1 of tech piece.
Yeah.
It's like running 1 or 2 of Cool and Focus in standard.
I never even heard of that. I don't know what. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I agree. Man. I'm not sure how to weigh this card yet, but we'll just have to see how good the we'll just have to see how good the mid attacks are that get fast, I guess.
I mean, even just having a speed reset on a +2 block and half blocking it is enough value in a lot of cases.
Fair. Like yeah, just like blocking a Recipro extend or Recipro burst.
Yeah. It's another target where you're not playing plus ultra to block Recipro burst on a 5. It's the same as a plus ultra.
Right. It is the same as a plus ultra, huh? As long as it's a 3-speed move.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool way to think about it. Wow. They printed another plus ultra. Cringe.
And they made a foundation so you can actually build with it.
Yeah. So I guess I think I actually love this deck, and I love how spread out it is, right? Like we were talking about needs, wants, nice niche. This deck looks so good spread out. So sweet. If you feel like you're wanting this to be less niche and more nice, I think we cut one floating and play this instead. I think that you're already used to playing just the preparings and the starlets as Momo, and so just grabbing 3 bonus ones is gonna be fine. You'll technically go up by +1 because of quick create as a weapon. No.
I think there's also just a world where you play the deck enough and you decide that the random weapon foundations aren't worth it, and you only run Rising Starlet.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe then you free up 8 other foundation slots.
Right. Maybe Rising Starlet and like 2x of preparing for battle, because I still think this card in conjunction with quick creation, in conjunction with like other moves, is like just good, right? I think that it is good enough to warrant. It's like a cute little tactic.
I just don't know if it's a 4 of card. I don't know if it's a need card by your standards.
Right. That's fair. That's super fair. It's nice to have. Yeah, maybe a 2 of is where it might end up after we play a little bit. All in all, I think you came to me with a really, really solid deck, and I think I got to just polish it up just a little bit. And you do this every week, and I feel like
at the very least it's a thought experiment.
Yeah. I wish I could find a third Excited for Blood. I think it's actually gonna put a lot of work into this deck. Actually.
I think if we spend a couple hours here, we could decide on foundations that were a bit tighter and put that in, but you need to get on to other people.
I certainly do. I'm excited for Ready Set Go and see how that works in the sideboard. I think of all the characters that get to play this card, I think this character is going to play Ready Set Go really well. I think this character is going to play Go for the Win really well. Man, I sure wish I had an extra foundation for my Staff Strike. Oh, look, an extra foundation for my Staff Strike. Sweet. All right, dude. Is there anything in here that you vehemently disagree with? You just hate?
Nah.
Can't stand?
Nah.
All right. Then I will say that I have done a decent enough job. Thank you again for the support on Patreon. I greatly appreciate it. You have a good rest of your day, okay?
Have a good one.
All right. Peace.